wrong with my thick?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and dogs and cats and all that good stuff. We have made it to 8 o'clock. We are running a little late, but it's all good. The debate we've all been anticipating is going to be between my main guy here, Deisel, representing Christianity in in the one end, and then we've got Sophia the mystic representing all things heathenous and evil on the other. And of course, the topic is Christianity necessary for civilization? So, what we're going to do is this is going to be pretty simple of a debate. So, it's kind of structured this way: we're going to have an opening 10-minute from each of our interlocutors. Then, we're going to have a cross examination. That's 5 minutes for each person. That means they get to question the shit out of each other for 5 minutes, and they have to put up with it. There'll be no jumping off topic. You don't get to ask your own questions during cross examination. You just have to answer his or her questions and shut up about it, okay? There's no crying on this stage. We've had enough crying today to last us a lifetime. And I mean that shit. Anyways, the next part of the conversation is going to go into closing remarks. For 5 minutes, they'll get to, close out, and then we'll have Q&A from the crowd, from the audience. So this should be very interesting. So we're going to ask, is Christianity necessary for civilization? The floor is all yours, Isaiah. Go for it, brother.
Please be sure to let me know when I have 1 minute left, okay?
I sure will, Deisel.
Okay, so start to say thank you for Dubstep and Sophia for agreeing to debate me and to moderate it. And thank you for not trying to rap, by the way. So on the topic today is Christianity institution necessary for civilization. I would like to say, obviously, affirm this as a Christian. I want to focus mainly on Christian ethics and contributions made by Christians over the millennia. In just a few minutes of Googling, I was able to find the largest nonprofits operating in America and around the world. And not surprisingly, almost all of them were either overtly Christian or founded by Christians, such as Goodwill Industries, St. Jude's Hospital, Habitat for Humanity, United Way, was founded in 1887, World Vision, Oxfam, founded by Quakers, but not directly Christian now. Same thing with Save the Children, which was founded by Eglantine Jebb and her sister Dorothy Buxton. Henry Dunnett of the Red Cross, the Salvation Army too, as it is the largest non-government provider of social services in the United States and one of the largest in the world, with budgets of almost $4 billion annually, assisting more than 32 million people in the United States alone. Although I found multiple secular organizations, surprisingly, I didn't find any organizations done by atheists, Buddhists, Muslims, Hindus, and mystics. Additionally, the Protestant work ethic was initiated by Martin Luther, who thought that the honest labor was the calling from God. This sentiment was echoed by Brother Lawrence, who wrote about finding God in every last action and inaction. This was later expanded upon by Max Weber, who theorized that Christians should escape from the pleasures of the world and do things like have moderation, delayed gratification, and investment. This concept was taken back from the book of Ecclesiastes, where Solomon explores enjoying the labor of your hand and not chasing after the pleasures of this world, which has helped contribute to a thriving economy in America and around the world. Additionally, Christians have helped facilitate the creation of just war theory, which has been one of the greatest contributions to mankind. This was spearheaded by St. Augustine and Sir Thomas Aquinas. In fact, I know Sophia is a fan of Palestine, and had Hamas heeded the advice of just war theory, they could have avoided the tens of thousands of Palestinian lives that were killed, not to mention the 1,000 civilians murdered in cold blood and the hostages still being held. I would also like to talk about Christian contributions to ending slavery, which is one of the worst institutions known to man. A quick search of the first 5 countries in the world to ban it yield the following: Bologna, Italy, 1256; France 1794, Japan 1590, the British Empire 1807, the United States 1865, China in 1910, and Korea in 1894. And of course, Africa itself was a bit late to the game, with Mauritania only accomplishing this in 1981 and Ethiopia abolishing it in 1942. Notice that 4 out of the top 5 were all Christian countries. This is not to mention the many African empires and states that contributed, contributed to the slave trade themselves, including the Ashanti Empire, the Oyo Empire, the Songhai Empire, and the Mali Empire, operating mainly on the west coast of northern Africa. People always love to think that it was just blacks who were slaves, but you had the Barbary Cossars operating out of the North African ports of Tunisia and Tripoli, taking slaves from places such as Italy, Spain, France, England, Ireland, and even as far as Iceland. In fact, the United States actually fought its first war as an independent country in 1801 to stop this barbarism. Interposed, interposed that started.
Speak a little closer to the mic. You're chopping up.
Okay, in her
There you
post that started this debate, she said the following: Christian institutions, I believe, have harmed my ancestors in big ways. Myself, and still today, is holding us back in our evolution. I want to show how utterly false this is, and that America, which is one of the largest Christian countries in the world, gives Black people the greatest chance of success on this planet. The U.S. Census Bureau says that 1 in 20 Black households have a net worth of over $1 million. Over half of the world's Black billionaires reside in America as of 2025, including Robert Smith, David Stewart, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, LeBron James, Rihanna, just to name a few. If she was being completely honest, she would have to admit the following 3 things. 1, according to the CDC, Blacks have the highest percentage of abortions in America at over 41%, despite being only 30% of the population, which translates to over 400,000 Black babies being killed in the womb each year. This is by far the most dangerous place in the world for Black lives to be. The second most dangerous place in the world for Black life would be under Black leadership, such as Africa and Haiti. Just looking back at the last 40 years, you can see countless genocide after genocide. 800,000 killed in Rwanda in a mere 3 months. No one has been able to kill people that quickly since Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Not to mention tyrants such as Idi Amin, Charles Taylor, Robert Mugabe, and across the ocean, dictators such as Papa Doc and Baby Doc Doliver in Haiti. Finally, the most dangerous place for Black people is the third most dangerous place to be is surrounded by other Black people. The Bureau of Justice estimates that the number of Black victims killed by Black offenders is as follows. Applying the rate of about 90% done by other Blacks, this gives a total estimate of roughly 9,900 Blacks killed by Black offenders in 2023. America is providing an opportunity for Blacks to enjoy every freedom and pursue whatever dreams they want, such as the case of Thessalonica Embry, who got a master's degree at 14 and a doctorate at 19, or people such as Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, Clarence Thomas, who have served giant parts in the government. If she was honest, she would have to admit that the largest problem in the African community is a lack of father figures. And this could be solved by following the Christian advice and not having sex before marriage, not divorce, and taking care of one's kids. In fact, the Bible says that a Christian who doesn't take care of their kids is worse than an unbeliever. So what does the Bible teach, and why is it important these days? Timothy, the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. In a world where mere 10 people have more wealth than the bottom 4 billion, it sure looks that like they could heed this advice about greed. Jesus, love your neighbor as yourself, the root of empathy. James, look out for the orphan and the widow. No wonder why so many of these organizations were started by Christians. Paul, there is neither Jew nor Gentile, black or white, the true basis for a colorblind society. James again, do not even curse a person as they are made in the image of God, the ultimate basis for human rights. Jesus, do good to those who persecute you. Blessed are the peacemakers, the ultimate foundation for a troubled and violent world. Peter, be sober and clear-headed, something that Sophia apparently doesn't believe in, I might add, but one of which is killing people by the tens of thousands each year through overdoses. She said the following, which was the catalyst for this debate. Christians are complete fanatics, worse than schizophrenic. When you believe you were chosen by some God, you already know that you're dealing with insanity right there. This is the excuse to do whatever they want. Supremacy is directly tied to that. Period. Scott, come on, mute yourself, please. She clearly demonstrated that she has no idea what she's talking about. Christianity is not a get out of jail free card to do whatever you want. In fact, Jesus himself said that if you go before God to give an offering and you realize that your brother has a problem with you, leave your offering and go settle this beef that you have. We have countless examples of people like Zacchaeus who find God and go about repaying all that he stole and even more. You have the case of the man who was healed of demon possession and who begged Jesus for the ability to follow him. But Jesus told him to go back and find his family because he would be an example of God's mercy and grace. So to be very clear about something, no, there's no supremacy here. What Christianity is one homeless man living in filthy rags on the street, eating out of the garbage, and him pointing another man where to get free bread. That's it. So I can honestly say that there are some logical things in the Bible that don't make complete sense to me. But this is the strongest proof of the existence of God to me. I have seen so many countless lives restored, drug addicts, gang members. I've seen these people have their lives turned around by God's grace. I myself was a divorced, depressed alcoholic, but by the grace of God, I've been remarried now for 8 years, sober, and have the love of God flowing in me. So now, Sophia, I'm no worse than a schizophrenic, and I look forward to hearing from you in this debate. But given the circumstances of the last few weeks, I hope that you can understand why this rhetoric is not only inaccurate, but dangerous for society in which we need to live together. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go on to Sophia's opening, and it'll be 10 minutes. So you've got the floor. Go for it.
Okay, before I continue, I would like the stuff that he went on a rampage about black people to be stricken out of the debate. That's off topic. And he literally went on an unexpected rant about blacks. I'm not going to spend my time here defending black people all over again. All right. That's not what this debate is about. So that needs to be completely thrown out.
Okay.
If
So
that's
I
not
don't,
being
yeah,
thrown out, we're not having a
yeah.
debate. 'Cause you literally went on a haterade rampage just now and made
Well,
this all about black people. How did you fit that in there?
so yeah, I don't know what the race part had to do with it. Honestly, I'm kind of confused on that too. But Isaiah,
This is
before we let her get into that, do you want to address why you brought that up?
yeah, because this is all as a result of her post. She
Mhm.
said that in her post that Christianity
My
was holding
post
black.
had nothing to do with black people.
Well, that's what she said. So I responded to it.
Okay. Well,
Is
anyways, let's
is
just
did my post have? Hold on. Did my
yeah.
post have anything to do with black people, or was my post about the Christian institution?
I quoted your quote. So I mean, those are your words.
Okay, and no, don't no, we're not about to play that game, Diesel. I
I quoted your
clarified in the
post where you're
comments that
calling
it was not
Christians
about
schizophrenic.
individuals who
Okay. I quoted your post where you're calling Christians schizophrenics. So just please your opening, okay?
I mean,
Schizophrenic.
you are
So
schizophrenic anytime you believe in the God, right? And if you think that it's okay to kill a bunch of people in the name of happening, because like y'all just trying to get under my skin at this point, and I ain't even gonna let it fucking affect me. So I'm just gonna
Sophia,
read my
you're
opening
you're
statement.
you're chopping up though. We couldn't really hear anything that came out. So try
Uh,
to try to get that
hold
straight, and
on.
then let's
Can
go
y'all
into
hear me
your
better?
say it again.
Let
Hold on. Oh well, but while she's waiting, so with the race thing, what was the connection there again? I might have missed something.
Her post said that Christianity was holding black people back, and I just showed why that was not true. So
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
I just came up with this stuff out of nowhere. I was responding to exactly what you said in your post. It's
Gotcha,
going
gotcha.
and what have you.
Okay,
And by the way, it's not an anti-black. That is not an anti-black rant right there. That those are just facts.
it's white Jesus, man. No, I
I didn't,
understand
didn't
now.
make this
I
stuff
didn't
up.
catch that part. I'm slow catching up, so I didn't know.
I didn't make
Uh,
this stuff up. I researched this all.
yeah. All right, Sophia.
Okay,
So
and can you
so
guys
did you
hear me
hear that?
better now?
Yeah, I can hear you better.
I didn't hear anything for a minute.
Sophia, maybe turn off your camera.
Yeah, the video might be screwing you up. Yeah, try to close your camera out. You have frozen up. Yeah, go ahead and try to turn your camera off and see if you can come through better. Sometimes that's hogging up bandwidth. Yeah. So can you hear us okay though?
Maybe we should all turn off our cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
It might work better without the camera, so let me try that, okay? Oh my God.
We can hear you.
Is it any better?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. All right. So he said, according to your post, it said Christianity was holding black people back. So he was trying to say that it wasn't Christianity holding black people back.
My post didn't say anything about holding back black people back, and he's
Mm.
I quoted her. So
So it must be a mix up on post or something like that. But is that something you can defend that Christianity is holding black people back? Because I could say, yeah. Mm. Sophia's connection is just off the chain, man. Sorry about this.
with the internet doing it.
All right, can you hear us?
I'm trying here. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so you want to go ahead and just get into your opening?
Yeah, I want to make sure y'all can hear me.
So far, so good.
Okay, y'all can hear me, all right?
Yep.
Okay. So, my opening is going to be about modern civilizations thriving without Christianity. Okay. Um, is Christianity necessary for civilization? Civilization is not the product of a single religion, but of human ingenuity, cooperation, and cultures across time and geography. While Christianity has undeniably influenced Western civilization, it is simply not a necessity for civilization itself. Great civilizations have thrived without Christianity, such as ancient Egypt, the Mayan and Incan empires, China, India, Greece, Mesopotamia, and indigenous nations across Africa and the Americas. All built societies with complex laws, arts, sciences, and moral codes long before Christianity existed. Even today, nations such as Japan, South Korea, India, and various secular European countries thrive without being governed by Christianity. Some of the most educated, peaceful, and prosperous societies, like Sweden or Japan, are largely non Christian. Christianity has contributed to art, philosophy, and moral thought, but it has also been tied to colonialism, slavery, inquisitions, witch hunts, and wars. Civilization cannot be reduced to one faith. It is the collective story of humanity. Thus, Christianity may be a part of civilization's history, but it's not a prerequisite for its existence. And that's short and simple.
Okay, so is that your opening, Sophia?
Yep, that's my opening.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So now we're going to move into the cross examination. So we'll start with Diesel, and you'll get to ask a line of questions for the next 5 minutes that Sophia will have to answer. And you'll just have to address the question, not ask your own questions or go off topic. So the floor is yours, Diesel.
Okay, Sophia, do you know what the percent? Because you just mentioned Switzerland. Do you know the percentage of Protestants in Switzerland is?
No, I do not know the percentage of
56.
Protestants in Switzerland.
Okay, and so
It's
most of
what?
the places, 56%. But most of the places that you said about as far as about Europe, I just want to correct you. Those are places that either have official state religions or majority Christian. So I don't know where you
That's
get
not
off.
true. That's
That
not
that's
Well,
true because
okay. We'll have to get this. We'll get a fact check on this afterwards.
I
But
can give you the
okay,
numbers
wait,
because I
hold on.
have it here, and that's not true.
What? It is true according to CIA.gov.
okay, next question.
Mm. Okay, so you said the Mayan people was an example of great civilizations.
Who?
Was the
Mayan.
Mayan, right? Right. So these are
Indians,
people.
Mayans.
Right. You said they were an example of a great civilization. Um, these are people
No,
who.
I said they were an example of civilizations. They had laws, they had moral codes. You gotta listen. You can't be twisting shit.
Okay. So okay. All right. Their moral quote unquote moral code saw the mass executions of people by the tens of thousands, sacrificed to their sun gods at the temples when their temples are being
But that's false
consecrated.
too because all the Mayans didn't do that. Like you're just there. You go again with your
Okay, so
white
that's okay. So that's
supremacist
okay.
doctrine.
So that's not. Did you say white supremacy? I'm not
Yeah,
even white.
that's some white
I'm
supremacist.
Mexican. I'm
That's
Mexican.
white supremacist doctrine. It don't matter if you white or not. You're quoting white supremacist doctrine. Because is that
Okay.
all you're going to say about the Mayan Empire? If that's all you got to say about the entire Mayan Empire, then you're literally a racist, dude.
I,
All
okay. You
right,
mentioned
next
Greece.
question.
Hold on. You mentioned Greece. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with Alexander the Great?
Yes,
So are you familiar with the fact that he waged war across almost all of Asia?
yes, I know he was an asshole. Yes.
Yeah. So you're mentioning these places, and you're kind of just proving a point that um, that these places that you're talking about are not the kind of nice places that you would like to imagine. Of course, now
First
did
of
I
all,
ever say
where in my opening did I say that these was the greatest places or that they were better than other places? We're talking about whether or not Christianity is a necessity for civilization. You're gonna sit here and tell me that Christian crusaders didn't slaughter a bunch of people. I mentioned the Inquisition; they fucking slaughtered their own. So, but what that shows us is, regardless of what kind of religion anyone practices, people, humans as a whole, have violent tendencies, including Christians. So don't
okay,
absolve yourself from that and think that that's just going to go away because you slapped the Christian title on that.
okay, so are you familiar with just war theory? I'm just curious.
Is that the third question?
Yes.
And what is it?
Are you familiar with just war theory? Christian just war theory.
Just
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 war theory.
word?
War. Just war theory.
Oh, like holy war shit?
No, no, not
Righteous
exactly.
war.
No, I'm
I'm just curious if
righteous
you are or
wars.
not.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
Because because I also know that you're someone who believes that. Well, I'm not sure if I should call you a Hamas supporter, but you're definitely pro-Palestinian. Would you say?
I'm a Hamas supporter because I feel for the
No,
Palestinians.
I didn't say you
Seriously,
were. I
dude.
didn't say you were.
Man,
No, I didn't say you were.
Well, why
But
even say that at all? Like, why even bring up Hamas, man? Get the fuck out of my face with that.
well, you realize because one of the principles in just war theory, because I just saw this interview that they interviewed a Hamas leader yesterday, and they were making it obviously clear the guy
We're
who's
not talking
interviewing.
about Palestine, though, are we now? Can
Well,
you
I just
please
know you
make this
happen to
dude
be
stay on
exposed.
topic?
But
Hamas
well,
doesn't
it,
need to
my
be
interview.
brought up
This
because
is
I
my
didn't say
interview.
anything
I'm
about being a Hamas
exposing.
supporter.
I'm
but
Okay,
yeah,
so you
exposing.
can't
we're
just
getting
go
into
off
the
topic,
weeds.
man.
We're getting
All right,
into
let
the
me get into this.
weeds.
All right. Then last question. What is the basis for human rights? Then, can you give me a basis for human rights?
The basis for human rights
Right,
is
right.
natural law. That's right.
Natural law.
That's right.
Natural law. So natural law where predators
I don't
eat.
need a God to tell me that I shouldn't just. I don't need
There's
a
a
God to
delay.
tell me that I shouldn't be a predator.
But you said
I don't
nature.
need
So
a
what do you
God
see
to
in
tell
nature?
me nature. The nature of
That's what you see
reality.
in
You should
nature.
try
That's
a
what you
dose
see
of
in
it.
nature. You see in nature predators and prey.
What?
So, right? Is that not what
I
you see in
said
nature?
the nature of reality. The nature
Okay.
of reality.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
Explain it, please. I'm dying to hear your explanation.
The nature of reality is literally what reality is because it can't be anything other than what it is.
Okay, so because we have invasive species that naturally invade and even use even subjugate other species through zombifying them through a variety of means. But what exactly is wrong with humans doing because you're talking about colonization and witch hunt, the Inquisitions, whatever. What exactly is wrong with that
You said
on your
what's
world?
wrong with
Yeah.
colonizing humans? Are you
Mhm.
asking me what's wrong with colonizing other humans?
Yeah.
I'm sure you would be able to answer that if I took a mob squad and colonized your home.
Can you answer the question, please?
Would that be wrong?
Can you answer the question, please? I like dodgeball, but not during debates.
Yeah, so is it good or bad? Is what he's
Your
asking.
home? Huh?
I said
No,
I said I like.
I'm doing a thought experiment
Okay.
so you can come to that answer yourself.
Okay, but I
If
don't
I
want.
were to colonize your
I'm asking
house
you. I'm asking you though.
where
I'm
your
asking
Yeah,
wife
you.
is and
Forget
your
about me.
child is,
yeah,
Take me out of the equation. I'm asking about you.
yeah. Just
you saying
pretend
would
like
that
he's
you
stupid.
saying would that be wrong?
That wouldn't be that far off, by the way, Scott.
Okay, so would that be wrong? I would say, of course it's wrong. Of course it is.
But
Okay.
why? I want to know why. Because you mentioned Europe as there being some incredibly enlightened people,
I mean,
but you had you had
he said
King Leopold
enlightened
in
people. What? I'm
Belgium
confused. What?
literally put black people in cages at zoos. So I mean, what
Okay,
exactly?
then he was a dick. He was a dick.
Scott, am I done with my 5 minutes now?
If he did that, he was
Yeah,
obviously
yeah. We're just about up to 5 minutes. So, all right, Sophia, go ahead and the floor is yours. Ask him some cross-examination questions.
alrighty. Let's start with uh if Christianity is necessary for civilization, how do you explain the existence of other great civilizations like China, Egypt, or Mayans?
Oh, you mean China, the one that was responsible for
Because I
over
mean,
50 million people under an
yeah, but
atheist society?
We're not
That one?
talking about that. We're
Yeah.
talking about civilization, right? What qualifies as civilization to you? Because civilization means agriculture, technology, all those things. Like we're not just gonna focus on whatever you define as.
Okay, so sorry. Scott, can you please
So
like
so now Isaiah, I mean Diesel, we want you to answer the question now. It's your turn.
yeah. So sorry, I'm sorry, rephrase that one more time.
Yeah,
Scott, I'm
so
trying to
she's
communicate.
asking you if civilization is defined by agriculture, technology,
Right.
um, just
Okay.
the
So
things that make a society, whether it's good or bad is a value judgment, I think is what she's saying.
I see. Okay, so no, then
Moral code.
obviously you don't have to have Christianity. You could structure a civilization on atheism or the worship of humans, such as in North Korea. So um, that is true. The debate topic doesn't say it has to be a nice civilization. Do you need a civilization? Do you need Christianity to build a civilization? Obviously not. That's obviously not true. But the most moral, the most ethical ones that have a consistent worldview that can account for morality and things that you are probably very against, which is greed and oppression. There's a perfectly logical system there. So it is the best, I would say. That's why that's why I mean the numbers don't lie, and all the places that I told you have been started by Christians.
Okay, next question.
Next question is, if Christianity is necessary, why are secular or non-Christian nations like Japan or Sweden among the most advanced today? For example.
By the way, Brooklyn, yeah, I was talking about North Korea, but okay, so Japan, you're saying that they're advanced. Um, again, another country that has
Yeah, the
killed
most
tens of millions of
actually.
people.
They're actually ranked in the top. Here we go again. You keep
Yeah,
bringing
I
up.
know. I've been
Is
there.
that a
I've been
straw
to
man?
Japan a dozen times. I know. I'm well aware of this. I'm well aware of the fact that they
But
also
you're
killed
you,
tens of
you're
millions of people
changing
in the
the
last
topic of
century.
the debate, and you're making it about what you want to make it about.
No, because okay, so this is a bit of a weird. This is a bit of a weird. Is it necessary for civilization? Now, obviously, you can build civilizations without Christianity. Japan. You want to talk about Japan and them slaughtering, abducting tens of thousands of women, using them as sex slaves across Asia, um, taking them back
Oh,
as
and that's
comfort
not
women.
happening in America. I think you should watch a little more soft white underbelly.
What I don't even know what that is.
You
Obviously.
should
Okay,
know
next
about
question.
the underbelly of America.
Okay, the
Oh,
things
next
that
question.
people are
Okay.
not doing what
Okay.
is said to be done by the Bible. Next one.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
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 sure.
pretty
Okay,
obvious.
next
Pretty
question.
obvious.
Number three. Number three. Christianity has inspired good, but it has also justified slavery and colonialism. Does that not show that morality and civilization can be shaped by human interpretation rather than being dependent on Christianity alone?
Well, yeah, but the thing is, slavery has existed for 10,000 years across the world, and
Man, I
Christianity.
ain't trying to hear that excuse. Has it existed like chattel slavery? Come on now. Come on.
It's
The
existed
point
for
is
10,000 years.
that
It's one of the
even if
oldest
you're a
things.
Christian, look, the point is, even if you're a Christian, you could take that interpret and
Okay, roboting.
to shit.
Anyways, Isaiah's yeah, you're not coming through.
So, Sophia, well, you mentioned
And what
Egypt,
about
which,
now?
which built its pyramids with slaves. So, I mean, you're just the place. It's funny because all the places that you mentioned just prove my point so fucking well, man. Seriously, it's amazing. It genuinely is amazing, Sophia. Like I would think you would be able to come up with some better examples.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Can you repeat yourself? Hold on,
yeah,
hold on. Can you repeat yourself? Because I'm also having a hard time with my connection. So you better slow your roll because if I start getting on your ass, you're gonna be crying.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
No
I'm
crying
kind of,
on those. There's no crying on the
yeah.
discussion.
Well, that's not going to happen. But
No, he
um,
needs to start with you need to start with the hey, I'm just saying, like, be an adult, stop with the condescending ass tone, all right? We're adults here. You get triggered by
okay, yeah.
something you see on my wall, and now you think you're gonna come back. You think you're gonna come back with a vengeance. Stop acting like a child. Let's be adults.
Adults calling Christians schizophrenic. That's very adult like, Sophia. So I mean,
I mean,
you're the one who
I'm not
started this.
trying to be rude. It kind of look. I'm not trying to be rude, but you believe in an imaginary sky daddy. I mean, that's pretty close to schizophrenia. I'm just saying, like, I'm being like serious.
Okay, from the person who smokes DMT and other hallucinogens. Okay, you're the one calling me schizophrenic. That's rich.
Hey,
That's real rich.
hallucinogens are healthy.
So I tried DMT, and that makes me. Yeah, they are, and that's actually proven by science. I'm just saying they actually improve mental health issues. Like, do your research on that before you open your big ass twacking.
My big ass what?
Twalking.
Okay.
So, do you got another question? I forgot where we were at.
Yeah, number four. Number four. Civilization is a global phenomenon. Do you believe billions of non-Christians today live outside of civilization then?
No, I've made it very clear you can build a civilization without Christianity. So I mean, that's clear. Now,
But then you already lost the debate because that's what it's about.
okay, yeah,
Bingo.
yeah, you win.
Bingo.
You win.
But it's a nice civil. He's talking about a nice civilization,
Or an ethical one. I mean,
an
Well,
ethical
I
it's
didn't
one.
just
know that.
hilarious.
I didn't know that
It's
was.
just hilarious the
I didn't know
places.
that he was going to be able to change the topic mid
No,
debate.
he's
But
not.
okay,
He's not. But I'm just saying, it's kind of an easy win. So if you want to up the stakes and let him pivot a little bit,
okay. Well,
that's
I
up
would
to
like
you.
to say that. I just like to say that my point that I said earlier. Uh, there are no perfect civilizations, and there damn sure are no Christian perfect civilizations. Christians have a lot of dirt under their belt as well. So his point is mute because at the end of the day, it is people and people cooperating with one another and people agreeing, to moral codes or societal standards. And like I said, there are other countries today that thrive very well that have extremely low crime rates, like Sweden, for example. And they're not Christian. There's like 1% of Christians in that country. So, how do you explain that? By your logic, that country, they're heathens. They believe in like naturalistic type of stuff, like similar shit that I'm into. And how do you explain that they have such a low crime rate where honestly it's crazy. There's barely any crime. So these people get along. Hey, they even smoke some weed over there. And they get along. Like, how are they doing this without Christianity?
Okay, so the total population of Sweden, you need to do research, is 60%. Please do some research, Sophia. Maybe put down the
You
whatever
said
it is.
what? The total
Maybe put it
population
down
of what?
60%.
Of
I just
what?
I
The
just
total population of Sweden is
yes,
60% what?
Protestant, evangelical Lutheran,
That's
and
not what
other
my
Christian.
research says. Where are you getting your shit from?
Okay. Well, CIA.gov. Have you ever looked there? You can go to Wikipedia. I'm
Yeah,
sure
like
at
I really trust the
Gemini.
CIA. Yeah, okay.
And where are you getting yours from? I'm looking right here. I have the CIA.gov that I can post in the link.
I would tell you,
Okay,
but
post it.
let me see. I'm hold
Do a
on. I'm
population in
having.
Sweden. Population in Sweden by religion. It'll tell you.
Okay, I'm going to post it right now. And here's the other thing too, is that all of these places that you talk about in Europe, again, are either have official state religions or only recently, such as Sweden, in this fact this century, had an official state religion. So these are places that were built by Christians. Okay.
But are they really Christians?
Hold
Are
on.
they real Christians though?
Looking,
I'm about to
They could
post
be
this
like
article.
phony, flag waving, weak kneed liberal Christians. They don't count, do they?
I mean, even in Germany, people identify as Christian, but no one's a Christian, you know. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Well, I'm posting it here, and I guess you don't trust the CIA, so I guess this isn't going to really
No,
matter. But I am going to post it.
and we'll let the audience decide who actually kicked whose ass today on this debate. So
it
you
says
guys
that
get ready to.
secularism is very strong in practice in Sweden.
Yeah, I'm a secularist myself. I mean, as far as the government goes, yeah, I agree that Christianity shouldn't be used as a means to force people to be Christian. Like, I'm not at all for that. But the
Okay, well
principle,
then that's literally what I was saying though. But I was telling you that I'm not talking about individuals who choose to identify as Christian, and there are more secular Christians who aren't like extreme. But I
yeah,
told you I was talking about the institution of Christian nationalism that thinks that it's okay to, merge with the state and then enforce it onto the people. Those people are crazy maniacs, and they are fucking schizophrenic because they believe that they are chosen by God, that they have a blood right to do this. They see black people as the lineage of Cain and whatever else. And you're telling me that that's okay under Christianity?
no, I'm actually just as much against
Okay,
those
well
people
then
as
I
far as
don't
you are.
know. Then I don't know why you felt personally spoken to, unless you just want to feel that way.
Because you put out blanket statements that are dangerous and toxic. And I said, as I said, just so you know, as I
But
said,
did I
Atheism is a
okay, but
cult.
did I clarify it and actually concede it and said, yes, I could have said that more clearly? Did I or did I not say that?
you said you could have said it more clearly. I don't remember you saying that. So
Well,
you
then
said you
that's
said
because you don't want to remember because it's right there. Because you and another guy said something to me and I responded to both of you. And I said, I could have said that a little more clearly just to make it very, very clear. I'm not talking about individuals who decide to, identify as Christian. I'm talking about the institution. I told you that. And that's how we ended up saying that we're going to debate about it. Because I said, if you're still confused about my view, that we can, I'd be happy to tell you about it over a debate. And you said, all right, let's do it. So you remember what you want to remember, but you don't remember the rest.
well, here we are. So
Damn it, Diesel. All right, so are we ready to do this open conversation? Now we can get
Listening.
into the juicy stuff. Let's really hash this out, guys. Let's figure out, what who meant what, where, why, when, all the juicy details, devils in the details. So come on, devils, put your horns on and let's go. Who wants to start?
Okay, well, I will start. I will say that civilizations are not Christian inventions. Mesopotamia gave us writing, Egypt gave us monumental architecture, Greece gave us philosophy, India gave us mathematics, China gave us a lot of science. And this is all stuff that happened before Christianity, like great things. These are things that we still use today. Without those things, these are like the cornerstones of fucking civilization, right?
yeah,
So if they did it without Christianity, who gave them that knowledge? Satan?
I as far as I mean, I don't want to get into the weeds of this, but I mean, there is. I would what most Christians would say is general revelation and progressive revelation from God. So it's not as though I mean I believe
But
that that
how can they get revelations from God if they don't worship him?
well I mean it's God might reveal Himself in different ways. I mean if you look at what the Hebrews the Israelites say about this is that God has revealed Himself like in the East as well, through various different kinds of different kinds of religions in the East. So they I mean, they have an interesting way to deal with that. As a Christian, I first of all, I don't believe that God has only revealed Himself to Christians. That doesn't really seem fair or logical to me. But so I'm not maybe as hardcore fanatical, maybe as someone as you might have been referring to, but I do believe in general revelation that God has
Yeah,
revealed, and that's it.
that's a pretty secular view, and that's a pretty secular view, and I would tell you right now that most Christians wouldn't agree with that.
Yeah, no, I
But
agree.
okay.
Well, look, having lived in Asia for as long as I have, I've seen too many things inside of other religions that are like direct copies of. Well, I mean, you could argue who's influencing who or whatever, but I mean, I've seen too many parallels in too many different religions to say that Christianity has this exclusive, um, this exclusive reign of knowledge that just nobody else has. I don't believe that. So
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't hear you all the way. Did you say that what's a copy of what now? Can you repeat that?
well, okay, like I'll just give you one example. Like in Buddhism, there's this idea of like not to look at the snow on your neighbor's roof whenever there's snow on your front door, and that is like you can say Jesus copied Buddha, but I mean that's a really awfully similar concept inside of Christianity about taking the plank out of your brother's eye. So I mean I've seen just so many things with that's just one example, but um, having spent time in Palestine uh, with Muslims, I mean, I've seen to think that I mean I've been treated with more kindness and compassion with people in Palestine than I have a lot of Christians. So I definitely have seen that that love can exist, in all different kinds of religions, and that basically most religions are trying to do the same thing, which is to be good people and to um, to be better versions of themselves. But I find particularly Hinduism, this idea of nirvana, like escaping, wants and desires, and kind of just transcending that. That is something that's really inspired me as a Christian to try to transcend that and try to just be content with the situation that I'm at. I mean, I found a lot of parallels between that and the writings of Paul. Um, I have the tattoo right here, which says basically having food and clothes, let us be content. It's the same Timothy 6:8. It's where it says the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. So I mean, I've learned from a lot of different religions. I'll say that much.
Okay, but I don't know why you acting like Christianity is the only good religion then, and that it is needed to have a good society. I mean, I think that I have proven to you, and even according to what you're saying yourself, people can be good people even if they're not Christians. So what are we debating about, honestly?
Well, I wanted the chance to take you to task for the things that you were saying, and as I also said, with being just so recently fresh from this Charlie Kirk assassination, I just did find that level of rhetoric very off-putting, and I felt like I needed to call you out on it. So here I am.
Okay, and I appreciate it, but that's very one-sided because I actually mind my business most of the time, and the rhetoric comes to me, and then when I defend myself, that's all you want to see. I think you missed everything else that was done prior on my wall and how I'm being harassed by people. Like you're not seeing that part though. You just see when I defend myself, then all of a sudden my behavior becomes a problem. Like why weren't you there before that? There was a time where a dude was straight up just going at it with me for days and days and days and days. And at some point, Caleb stepped in because he got sick and tired of seeing a man trying to beat up on a woman. You know, where are you men when women are being beat up on? But then when a woman stands up for herself, you want to come out and beat me up. You call that manly? Oh, you called me out now. Do you feel better about yourself now? Are you a good Christian?
No, that's the question I asked you. Does that make you feel better by attacking Christians like that? That was the question I literally asked you. Like, do you
But I
feel
didn't
better about
attack
being like?
anybody. I defended myself. You just
Well,
didn't see that part. You
the thing
decided to
is,
see it as me attacking someone.
well, the thing is,
When
I have
you
very
seen your own family ripped apart by Christian doctrine, when you seen your own family ripped apart by Christian doctrine,
Mhm.
then you may have a different view on it. You have no idea what I've seen people do who call themselves Christian and how they abuse their own kind.
Well, I have a pretty good idea considering that we talked about it in a podcast.
You don't know me for you to assume shit. You
Well,
came in the gate trying to, come on now.
I trying to what? I came in the gate trying to what?
You came in the gate making this about something completely different, and everybody caught that.
I responded
So be
exactly
honest.
to what. No, here's the point. Here's the point, Sophia. The point I was trying to say is that it's been Christians to end slavery on this planet, and it's been even in Africa still continually going on 150 years after Christians put an end to it. Okay, that's the point I was trying to make. It's not a matter of anyone's better than blacks. No, it's that
You're making
blacks.
it
If
seem
you want
like
to,
but you're making it seem like just in the '60s we didn't still have segregation. I had a dad who experienced that. Okay, you're making it seem like whenever black people do come together and we do have black leaders, you're making it seem like our black leaders are not being fucking assassinated. You're making it seem like when we do build strong communities, they don't come in and burn it down to the ground every time we try to get our ass up on our feet. So why are you leaving all that out? Oh, what about the CIA? You're not talking about how they fucking flooded the goddamn hoods and then saying, well, you didn't have to do crack. You're not talking about how they're putting liquor stores everywhere for people who are already fucking down and out and saying, well, you didn't have to drink the alcohol. So,
they
you know,
didn't.
it goes two ways.
Personal
We take
responsibility.
responsibility. We take responsibility. You're not even talking about the people in Chicago who are standing in the street and trying to put a stop to gang violence. They're not fucking putting that on goddamn TV. But they gonna fucking put the little fake phony BLMs out there. That's not even the original grassroots fucking um movement. You know what I'm saying? There's some little college kids who shit run by fucking white women, so-called representing us. You don't know the fight that's actually going on, and you want to talk so much fucking shit.
So, Sophia, the thing is, I what you don't understand is that I have actually seen firsthand in Haiti and written a book about the plight of the Haitians, and I've dealt with Africans all over the world, man, in dozens of countries.
So what happened to
So,
the Haitians? Let me know, because I'm part Haitian. Let me know. Let me know. I am part Haitian. Let me know what happened to the Haitians. What happened to them? Tell me.
well, I mentioned Papa Doc and Baby Doc Dolliver. And right
Okay.
now, they have a current leader known as Barbecue down there in Haiti. So it's a hell zone down there, man.
Barbecue was not the guy that the media made him out to be, first the fuck of all. Also, let's talk about how their land was completely ravaged. You can see it on the map. There are no resources left. Why the fuck do Christian nationalists think that they have to rob the earth of every fucking resource they can rob it of? And then they even fucking shut down foreign trade with these people because they started the
Say that again. You broke up.
civilized fucking people. And then you say, look at these animals. Look at them.
Animals, please.
Trans the shit that we
I mean, okay. So So you keep going
If
on
I
all
come
the
to your
horrible
house
stuff.
and you're outnumbered and I fuck your shit up,
Okay, so you
should have been
realize that
straight. Weapon.
Sophia,
I
you're
keep
You
hearing
should have
chopping
ended
up
with
really
that.
bad.
You know, fucking.
You're
all I
chopping
hear
up.
is
It's
fuck, fuck, fuck,
survival of
fuck,
the
fuck. That's all
fittest.
I
You're
hear.
just too dumb to survive. Would that be
Okay, you're chopping up. We can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Uh, so Sophia, there's been places like because you mentioned South Korea had 90% of their country destroyed, and now within a less than 2 generations are now the 10th largest economy in the world. So they've been subjected to colonization from Japan, sexual slavery, and even having slavery here in South Korea. So that was abolished in the early 1900s. So lots of people, I mean, look at the Jews. The Jews have been oppressed, genocided, on and on and on. I mean, you try to make it sound like blacks are like um, uniquely suffered. I mean, people have suffered on this planet. And
Self-destruction sequence.
no? That is wrong. I'm not trying to make it seem like that. You came in this motherfucking chat, right? And started talking about black people. And so now I'm in defense mode because you came in here like that. I
okay,
didn't make
was there
this about black
anything?
people. I hold
Was there in?
take accountability. You came in
Okay,
here guns blazing, black people this, black people that, completely off topic. I
okay.
am
So
black. I have black children. And now you doing the same shit that these Christian nationalists are doing.
Gotcha,
Why are
bitch.
you
Gotcha,
making it
bitch.
all
Gotcha,
about
bitch.
black
Gotcha,
people?
bitch. Gotcha.
You did that. You came in here and did that shit.
Sophia,
Come on now.
was okay. Is anything I said okay specifically about Rwanda, Idi Amin, Robert Mugabe? Is any of that false? Is any of it?
It's not entirely false, but it's also not the way you're putting it. But I'm not about to go into all of that because that's not what this debate was supposed to be about. So again, take accountability for what you just did.
I presented
Denied.
I
facts.
shouldn't have to keep
Denied.
defending myself for being black. Period.
You
And
said
I
you
shouldn't
defended.
have to defend and I shouldn't have to defend myself for not wanting to be a Christian. Period. Understand that. Every man has
Yeah,
a right to control their own destiny.
yeah. And how is that? How exactly is that going now in Africa, though? These places that were former colonies, like South Africa. I
Well,
mean,
they're doing, but you know what? They're waking up. They are getting together. They're making a lot of fucking progress. You're just not watching.
oh, I know plenty. I work with plenty of South Africans. They tell me
Okay, well, then
exactly
what the
how
fuck
things are
you
going
sitting
down
and
there.
saying? What are you saying to me then? Well, you
What?
think all of Africa got, you think all of Africa is so poor that it got flies flying around on their eyeballs? That's what you think?
Fired.
No, but
You're
I know that
fired.
they have
You're fired.
only
You're
have
fired. You're fired.
power a couple of hours out of the day and extremely high inflation and joblessness right now. So, um,
Yeah, but they are also making a lot of good choices. Have you heard of
explain.
Ibrahim Traore? Huh? You want to talk about Ibrahim Traore a little bit?
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, well, make yourself familiar before you come talking to me.
Well, I know. I'm just curious. How many South Africans do you personally know, Sophia? Do you
I'm not
personally know?
about to keep answering your questions, man.
Because I know
I,
dozens of them who all fled from that
I
country,
grew up with
white
South
and black,
Africans, all right? I was
whites and black.
invited in their homes. They braided my hair. I know how to cook their food. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm explaining to you. I know dozens of them who have escaped and fled that country. In fact, some of them leaving their families behind.
And,
They have to come to
and
South Korea to work because they can't survive there.
yeah, and that's true. My best friend was born on the run. Yes.
We got
Yes.
30
She didn't
seconds
see her
left,
dad.
guys. 30
She didn't
seconds.
see her dad for fucking 20 years because he was caught up down there. Yes, I get it.
Yeah, but I think you completely misinterpreted. This is not about attacking blacks. This is showing how Christianity provides the basis for human rights, for dignity for
I'm gonna
blacks.
tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, the white people who call themselves Afrikaans, right? They gave
Hmm.
themselves that name, right? They called the black man in South Africa Bantu, right? And they said to themselves, God chose them to go there and manage that land, and that land belongs to them, and that they are the kings of that land. There was no such thing going on down there until the white people went down there. Don't sit up here and tell me that Africa could not have thrived on their own without this crazy ass overlord ass intervention. All right, don't sit up here and tell me that.
Well, I
Because
didn't
if
say
you
that.
tell me that, if you try to tell me that, your ass is crazy and you're lying.
Well, I didn't tell
All
you that.
right. Okay. So we're about to move into the closing, just the closing statement at the end to kind of sum up your position. Regardless of what the audience think, I think you both did a wonderful job, and you both go home with trophies. You're both trophy winners in my eyes. So congratulations. All right.
Why do I feel so pissed?
I don't know. Maybe Diesel won, and you're
It's
mad.
been a rough day.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough.
Oh, by the
All
way,
right, go
hold on.
ahead, man.
Really, hold on. Just one thing
Yeah.
I do want to say that I want to apologize to Sophia for whoever was attacking you earlier, because that is not a way to have a debate or discussion, to go after people personally. So Scott told me a little bit about that. So I'm sorry you had to endure that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so you guys ready to do the closing statements?
Yeah.
All
I
right, go
apologize
ahead.
for being a little bit off on the edge. And I know that I am, but like this is just getting too much sometimes.
Well, I'll go first, Scott.
Yeah, you go first,
Well,
and be
I
be nice this time. Don't be trying to put people down like that. Come on, man.
I work with South Africans. I live in South Korea, where there are thousands. I mean, I've met hundreds of people from all over Africa here, and while traveling in Asia. So this is not an attack personally. What I was saying about Black people, what I was trying to show you was that what Christianity offers is that it offers a basis for human rights. When, as I said, uh, James says you should not even curse somebody. You should not even say something bad about somebody because they have been created in God's image. This was the theme that I was going for. And the only reason I was mentioning things about abortion and fatherlessness and homicides in America is because I genuinely do care about Black people, man. I mean, I have Black friends, and I couldn't care less. I mean, where I grew up, it's just blacks, Mexicans, and whites. Poor people, east side of Bakersfield. Nobody gave two shits about each other's skin color, and that's the way it really should be. But I do know that Christianity offers a logical, rational basis for that. Um, to This is what the founding fathers talked about as far as having inalienable right from God. That I believe that I genuinely believe that. Now I may be schizophrenic, I may be off or whatever, but I genuinely believe that we should treat people with kindness, care, compassion, try to help people out wherever they are. Um, and I do support organizations in Africa to help dig wells. And I mean, there's a orphanage that I support, and I have written a book about Haiti and the horrible aftermath of the earthquake, and about these stories of survival from the people who escaped that. So I do think that we need to work together. I believe that Christianity provides the best basis for that, but obviously you can create societies that do not have Christianity in it. But I do think that the examples, virtually every example you gave, from Japan to Egypt to Maya, all just prime examples of people having no regard for life, killing people by the tens of millions in Japan, slavery in Egypt, and the Mayans, who not only ripped out people's beating hearts, but also drowned children and set people on fire as sacrifices to their god. So this is something real. And thank God that we had Christians to pacify them down in South America, and including places like, I do want to say other places like New Zealand, where I mean the Maoris were straight shrinking people's heads, killing them, shrinking their heads, and keeping them around as trophies. And Christians helped put that practice to bed, and now it's a much better off now that Christians have arrived there. So that's all I want to close off with.
Alrighty then.
Mm,
So, Sophia, go ahead and let's hear your final thoughts on this matter.
I appreciate that you are, you know, I guess a more secular Christian, that you are more open minded, that you are willing to work together with people regardless of their religious orientations or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But I have to tell you, you're technically not considered a real Christian. And that's really not acceptable according to Christianity, because you also support, um, you know, LGBTQ people and stuff like that, which religious people don't. I mean, Christian people don't. So you are not really a Christian. You are very secular. And so, with that being said, I appreciate that. I mean, because you can even see yourself that Christianity is kind of screwy. And with that being said, um, I have acknowledged that Christianity has done good things, but there's been a lot of bad stuff too. And so that's no different from any other culture, any other country, like the Mayans. I mean, you talking about the sacrifices that were done to their gods. That wasn't all of the entire empire. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? There were other good things too. And you never really mention the good things. And when you talk about black people, you don't talk about the good things and their accomplishments either. You only bring up the bad things, the shit that black people are so-called failing at, the things that they're not doing correctly. You know, I have not heard you say anything good about black people. I've not heard you say anything good about those countries or empires that did a lot of good things. You only focus on their negativity. And so that's why people like me get upset, because not only is this country choosing to always talk about a certain group of people, if it's not blacks, it's the LGBTQ people. If it's not them, it's the fucking immigrants. You know, it's always talking about a group of people and talking about their negative, everything negative that they can come up with. But see, that's the problem. If we're going to work together, if we're going to do something better in this world, shouldn't we focus on the positive qualities that we all have? Shouldn't we acknowledge each other for our accomplishments and the things that we did do right? You know what I'm saying? That's my closing argument, because we're not going anywhere like this.
All right, cool. So that was a great debate. I think you guys gave it a great shot. Um, I think basically the topic was, is Christianity necessary for civilization, not necessarily a good or bad one. And so I think Diesel kind of,
Diesel loses.
yeah, he loses that point, but all I can say is he should have paid more attention. That's the only thing I have about him. He doesn't listen. I love
I
him to
don't think
death.
either
And
one of
and the
us,
other thing,
I don't think,
I want to say thank you so much for donating to the show. I'm between jobs. You helped me out as usual, and I appreciate you, Diesel,
Of
for
course.
that. I just wanted to make that public.
Yeah,
All
I
jokes aside, but
and
otherwise, I think unfortunately in this particular situation here,
Go suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a motherfucking dick. Suck a dick, suck a huge or small dick. Go suck.
are you still talking,
Sophia,
Scott?
you're the winner. You're the winner.
okay.
But you
Sophia
did
wins,
both
but
did a great
How
point.
am
You
I the
both
win?
did
Hold
great.
up, hold up.
no,
How am I the winner? I don't believe that because I don't feel
I,
like any of us won.
I think, in my opinion, you won, but I do think that you completely misrepresented the things that I was saying, that I was somehow attacking black people. That is not at all the case that I was setting up. I think because you're on high edge related to maybe other white people doing so, you probably think that that's where I was going. But I was simply trying to show that following the Christian ethics would help the black community. That's the majorly what I was trying to say right there. Okay.
Okay, but what one thing you got to understand, right? I mean, when I look at you, you look white. Yeah, you're Hispanic. Now, how the fuck would you feel if I came on a show and just start talking about what Mexicans need to be doing, and that's why they need to be embracing Christianity because this is why Mexicans fail, and this is why that's happening. The fact that you people think you have the right, or that you're chosen to, or that you somehow have for some reason this inclination to do so, that pisses me off. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Because
Sophia,
why do you feel the need to do that?
Sophia, in my hometown, I've had 10 of my friends murdered by guns. Just this yesterday, there was a 15-year-old Mexican kid gunned down in the streets of my hometown. Okay. I've had lost multiple friends to gun violence. I've lost multiple friends to
So have I.
hold on, can I finish, please? Because if you were to start to lecture, I would absolutely say you're absolutely right. I have the same exact concerns about my community. And that's not because I hate them. That's not because I'm attacking them. It's because I want to see something better for them. Okay?
Okay, then go out there and do something. Don't just talk about it. Be
I
like
don't
me
just
and be
talk
out
about it.
here be out here like me and be in these streets. Don't just talk about it.
Sophia, I mean, Sophia, so as of right now, I've already paid for 3 people to come here to South Korea from my hometown, Bakersfield, California. Okay? I have worked on providing scholarships to kids there here in South Korea. Just today, I'm supporting a school in Bangladesh with a Muslim guy that I work with. Okay, I don't just sit around and talk about doing good stuff. If it's
Okay,
an
and that's
LGBT
awesome.
person,
That's
if it's a
awesome. I think that's great.
if it's an LGBT person, it's people in Africa. You know how many you know how much money I've sent trying to help people get out of scamming people in Nigeria. I've put 500 of my own dollars into that, helping people quit and to stop scamming and to have a better life and to live an honest life. So
Mm.
I don't just talk about shit. I actually do shit. Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
that's good.
that's
That's good to
true.
hear.
That's really good. Good point to make. All right, so let's go on to the Q&A. So Objective Ethics asks for Diesel. Christians from Christian nations promoting Christianity during European imperialism caused several hundred million deaths, far more than Hitler, Mao, Stalin, and Mussolini combined. How do you respond to that?
Christian. Okay. So actually, that is interesting because what he's talking, I believe one of the things he's talking about as far as European imperialism, that was mainly the result of disease that wound up killing those people. Now, if you take a look at Europe at the time, they had far more interactions with animals, domesticating animals. So when they came over, Spain specifically, when they came over to the New World, the people there did not have the same kind of immunizations that the Europeans had. So the vast majority of those people that you're talking about was just a result of disease, and a matter of, if we're being honest, it's a matter of Europe being more technologically advanced at the time and having the means to domesticate more animals.
Okay. So Brooklyn Lou asks, question for Diesel. Why is the religion of Christianity better for civilization than other ancient religions?
Well, I've already I've already explained this. Okay, okay, so first of all, I explained this in my opening as far as Christianity and the charities that have been the largest charities in the world, where Christians come into places like South Korea. You mentioned South Korea, by the way, Sophia, and it's been Christians who have come here, built hospitals, schools, taught English, helped save them from being invaded by communist, atheist North Korea. So it's been the United States that's, or not just the United States, but Christianity that has done more for the world, to answer your question. And then you also have places like India, which um, is a, I mean, I would consider Hinduism a mystic religion, but they have people starving, and they have cows just wandering around that wind up getting hit by trains because people don't, they just let the cows wander around there. You can see video footage all the time of them, cows getting hit by, cars, or not cars, oh, cars and trains. So what that could be, they could be eating those cows. Then you also have places like, Buddhist countries where the monks, they wind up going and doing meditation for years, maybe even decades in their life, and their soul, what they're trying to do is ascend to different levels of consciousness. And I know because I have actually done some of this meditation myself, so I definitely know that it works. But that is their level of, that's what they're ascribing to meditate on love and kindness and compassion while they're out isolating themselves in the middle of nowhere, on deserts. So deserts and, I'm sorry, mountains. And so, I see that, and I just say, like, Christianity, I think just objectively has been better than any other religion that's out there.
Okay, question for Diesel from Objective Ethics, excuse me. Can you name a single ethical edict that is unique to Christianity since all the ethics you brought up did not start with Christianity?
I would say love your neighbor as yourself. I haven't heard. You might say that that might be something else that, um, maybe originated from somewhere else. But from what I know, that one specifically, and to forgive your neighbor. I mean, to forgive your enemy, to love your enemy, and pray for those who persecute you. Um, I have not seen that level of, in another religion. So if I'll stand to be corrected if I'm wrong on
We're not
that.
doing that. We're not praying for enemies that's trying to kill us. Like y'all got me messed up. Like, why would I do that? That's not even smart.
Well, I mentioned just word theory, so if you know what that's about, then you'll understand the reasoning behind that.
So, Christianity basically says to forgive your enemies. So that's an edict that you don't find in other religious traditions, is what you're saying.
And that's just something they tell you so you don't fucking go over there and take revenge on their asses. Because they know what they did. I know what you did last summer, bitch.
Well, I mean, actually, in Sikhism, Sikh teachings emphasize that God resides within everyone, so including your enemies, and so you should always show mercy even to your enemies. What Sikhism says. Um,
Sikhism is a
Hinduism,
badass religion. I would definitely, if I wasn't Christian, I'd be Sikh. By the way.
I would
the
say it
Bhagavad
depends. If,
Gita
if my
says,
enemy, if my enemy has chosen to leave me alone, we're good. But if you're gonna keep coming after me, like, am I supposed to keep turning the other cheek and forgiving you and praying for you?
well, right, and like I said, this is very subjective. Like Hindus teach that one should always maintain equality and love even towards your foe. That's what it says. So it's not the only religion that has that sort of edict. Just to let you know.
Okay, I stand
Okay.
corrected.
All right. So another question for Diesel:
Jesus Christ.
If Christians spreading diseases responsible for the deaths of million whole trying to spread Christianity, doesn't this show that maybe there isn't a loving God behind Christianity?
So actually, to
Right.
answer that question, whenever the conquistadors came over from Spain, those guys were privately funded, and they took out loans to do what they were doing, and so they had to repay back those loans. So there was a necessity to subjugate people and to try to pillage the gold, in the Americas. But it was the Christians who helped to build sanctuaries for the indigenous people and to help make sure that they were not getting too out of hand. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
They
none of those
also
people
stole their
identified as
property. They
Christian.
also they also stole their properties by marrying these women and making them think they love them and stealing their land. They also introduced them to sugar, which caused a lot of Native Americans to die from diabetes. I mean, you always leaving out stuff.
well, okay, I'll tell you something I won't leave out then. because I am Mexican, so that's we're part Spanish and Indian. But name another place that has been conquered where the conquerors have given them reservations and land for them to practice their customs and traditions and have. I mean, this is right in my backyard in California. They get casino special tax breaks and grants. I mean, in my book, they shouldn't have got anything. But I mean, that just grows to show like what other place have you seen that has done that? Is given people land that they've actually lost in wars and through treaties and America specifically has been. I mean, I think they've gone way out of their way to help the Native Americans here in America.
All right, so another comment for Diesel. Reciprocity, the golden rule, goes back to ancient Sumer. Loving your enemies is part of many Eastern religions that predate Christianity. So this is another correction on that.
You stand
Any
corrected.
more questions out there in the audience?
No one
No,
has
I would
questions
like
for
to
me.
debate this.
Huh? Say that again.
I would
No
like
one
to
has
debate
questions.
Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn Lou. Did you
Yeah,
hear
I would
that,
like to
Brooklyn Lou? Uh,
set up a debate with
Diesel
that guy.
wants to get into a kerfuffle with you.
Man, all I'm gonna say is I actually will pray for you on that day.
Yeah, yeah, Brooklyn Lou's pretty aggressive. You sure you want to do that?
Smoke weed
That would
every
be fun
day.
though to
Smoke
see.
weed every day.
Yeah, man. Well, look, it's been about an hour, almost an hour and a half. I want to respect everybody's time. I think we've had a wonderful evening. It's been a really good debate. You guys really gave your all. Was really passionate, kind of spicy in certain areas. I like that. I like that a lot. Um, Brooklyn Lou says, "Sure, Diesel. Whatever you want to talk about is fine. I do not prepare. Do not need to. So,
Good. We can discuss the
I
cult of
told you.
atheism. We'll
cult of
discuss whether or
atheism.
not the cult of atheism is a good thing for this planet because it seems like he belongs to the cult of atheism.
He does. He's a hard atheist. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll set it up. Just let me know maybe next weekend or whenever you guys are free. Whenever you just let me know what works. You're in Korea, so your time zone is maybe an hour ahead of us or something like that.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing to Brooklyn though, because I think he lives in America, right?
Yes.
Just thank God that you are, living in a Christian country and you're not living in an atheist country like North Korea or China or Russia, man. So, yeah, just thank God that you were
Mm,
born there.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
yeah, man. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go. And yeah, next week we'll do it again. We'll come up with some other stuff. We're gonna have more debates coming your way. Maybe Diesel and Brooklyn Lou can get to it next weekend.
Let's
But
do it.
thanks a lot for the cordial debate. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. So thank you very much. And you guys like and subscribe to the channel. And till next time, y'all be good.